serpent was more subtle than any animal of the field which Yahweh God had made. He said to the woman, "Has God really said you shall not eat of any tree of the garden?" The woman said to the serpent, "We may eat fruit from the trees of the garden, but not the fruit of the tree which is in the middle of the garden. God has said, you shall not eat of it. You shall not.
Sorry.
You shall not touch it lest you die." The serpent said to the woman, "You won't surely die. For God knows that in the day you eat it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." When the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was to be desired to make one wise, she took some of its fruit and ate, and she gave some to her husband with her, and he ate it too. Their eyes were opened, and they both knew that they were naked. They sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. They heard Yahweh God's voice walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And the man and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh God among the trees of the garden. Yahweh God called to the man and said to him, "Where are you?" As if he didn't know. The man said, "I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself." God said, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" The man said, "The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me fruit from the tree, and I ate it." Yahweh God said to the woman, "What have you done?" The woman said, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate it." Yahweh God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, you are cursed above all livestock and above every animal of the field. You shall go on your belly, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life. I will put hostility between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. You will bruise your head, and you will bruise his heel." That's a prophecy about Jesus. To the woman he said, "I will greatly multiply your pain in childbirth. In pain you will bear children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you." To Adam he said, "Because you have listened to your wife's voice and eat from the tree about which I commanded you, saying, you shall not eat of it, the ground is cursed for your sake. You will eat from it with much labor all the days of your life. You will yield thorns and thistles to you, and you will eat the herb of the field. By the sweat of your face you will eat bread until you return to the ground. For out of it you were taken, for you are dust, and to dust you shall return." The man called his wife Eve, because she would be the mother of all the living. Yahweh God made coats of animal skins for Adam and for his wife, and clothed them. Yahweh God said, "Behold, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. Now lest he reach out his hand and also take of the tree of life and eat, and live forever." Therefore Yahweh God sent him out from the Garden of Eden, to till the ground from which he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed cherubim, as angels, at the east of the Garden of Eden, and a flaming sword was turned every way to guard the way to the tree of life. That's the end of that one, right? Can you just put up the very first slide from the PowerPoint? So this morning I'm going to talk a little bit about recovery, restoring life and relationship with God and other people. The story that I just read talks about relationship and how relationship has been broken. God had a relationship with Adam and with Eve. Adam and Eve had a relationship with each other. They actually obviously had a relationship with the animals as they were talking to the snake. They also have a relationship with the ground, with the earth around them. In this one moment, you see that every single one of those relationships was damaged. It was destroyed to some extent. You have a breakdown in relationship with the husband and the wife. The husband is blaming the wife for the decision that he made. When we blame other people, it breaks the relationship. We are not taking responsibility for our own behavior. And the wife, in turn, she went and she blamed the snake. Well, we know that the snake was evil, that's Satan. So we don't really want to be in close relationship with him. But at the same time, it shows how humans' relationship with animals is also broken. And because of the curse, man's relationship with the ground is broken. We have destruction of our environment. It's hard to get food from it. It talks about in that verse, it talks about you'll strike his heel and you'll bruise your head. That's talking about Jesus Christ. When he comes, and at communion this morning, we remember his sacrifice, his death on the cross, paying for our sins. So that's Satan trying to destroy God, to destroy the son of Adam, which Jesus is. But Jesus crushed that and defeats sin. The purpose of Jesus dying on the cross is to bring us back into a relationship with him. We're all created to be in community. We showed a slide that says the opposite of addiction is community.
Sorry.
It's called community.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I was talking with a friend the other day. He is a psych nurse. He works in the community that I work in. They had just finished a big meeting about a whole bunch of stuff. We came outside and we're just talking. Like, he's so knowledgeable. He's a guy who has gone through addictions in his own life. He was addicted to heroin, among other things, alcohol, and he's clean now. He's recovered. His life, well, you know what? This time last year, one of his best friends, a bass player that was in the band with him for the last 35 years, overdosed. It's been really hard, but he works every day as a psych nurse and a public health nurse to serving people in the community where I work. He said to me, addiction is the opposite of community. When we are isolated on our own, we look for our needs to be met outside of God, outside of a relationship with others. Can you go to the definition of recovery, please? The definition of recovery is 1, a return to the normal state of health, mind, or strength. And 2, the action or process of regaining possession or control of something stolen or lost. In our lives, we are all in recovery, or we should be. We've all lost something. We've lost our relationship with our Creator, with our God. We've lost our relationship with each other. It's broken. It was stolen from us. So many times we try to fill that void, that need for relationship, that need to feel okay by doing other things. It can be drugs. It actually makes sense because drugs actually give you a high that feeds you chemicals in your brain that make you feel good. It actually is like it's crazy how good it works to make you feel good for a little while. But the problem always comes back. It could be, there's so many different things. You guys are familiar with Alcoholics Anonymous? Everybody's heard of that? There's a whole bunch of organizations that are anonymous. There's Alcoholics Anonymous. There's Gamblers Anonymous. Narcotics Anonymous. Overeaters Anonymous. I think there's like Anger Anonymous. There's other organizations like Celebrate Recovery that cover a whole bunch of different things. There's so many ways. There's so many organizations that are out there to try and help people to bring them back to the community so they can overcome their addictions. You might be sitting in your seat and thinking, well, I'm not on drugs. I don't have a problem with alcohol. There are so many other things we use to fill supposed to be filled in relationship with God. Some people accumulate things. There's a show on TV called Hoarders. People accumulate things trying to fill the holes in their relationship in their life. Some people shop. It's that rush of seeking out something, looking for that great deal, and purchasing it. There's a real high in that. Some people fight. They're addicted to anger because there's a chemical rush. There's another form of addiction that's, some people call it intimacy anorexia. And there's an addiction to eating more food than you should. And there's also an addiction to not eating food on the opposite end of the spectrum, or eating it and then getting rid of it. There's also has to do with relationship. Intimacy anorexia is purposefully withholding love from the people that you're in close relationship with. It can be like controlling money, controlling time, being emotionally withdrawn. People control it. Like where it says when each desire will be to control her husband. Is that how it goes in that verse? Can you put that one up there again?
Very easily.
He will rule over you. So much of what we do in our lives is trying to control how we feel, to control and try to make ourselves feel safe and secure. And if we can't find love that we need, that we perceive that we need, and we do need love.
What time is it?
It says your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. You can take that one off, can't you? Because it's an uncomfortable thing. It happens with just more than just husband and wife, it happens with people, right? We have manipulation and coercion and all kinds of stuff that's unhealthy in relationships when we try to. It's all coming out of a place of trying to meet our need to feel safe and secure and loved. You guys, does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we do, okay, my wife's telling me to carry on. Our relationship is broken with God. We look to other things that fulfill our perceived needs. I'll give you some examples. Why does this matter? This matters because broken relationships lead to broken lives. Eventually, ultimately, death of relationships, physical death, all kinds of stuff. The opposite is healthy people are in a healthy community. They have healthier lives. God's good and great plan for the rest of us. Can you put on Jeremiah 29:11? I'll read you one version here. It says, for I know the thoughts that I think toward you, says Yahweh. Thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you hope and a future. God's plan for each and every one of us is good. He created us before the foundations of the earth were set. Before he created anything in the universe, he already had you in mind. You. Like, exactly you. Whatever your name is. He had a plan for you. And he has a good plan for you. He still does. And he will fulfill what he promises. We all have behaviors to substitute in place of relationship with God. And there's a way to overcome those. Can you go to slide 2 in recovery? I've actually been involved in recovery groups myself. I have multiple addictions that I struggle with on a daily basis. A lot of them aren't mentioned already. The first thing that we need to do to come to an understanding of when we are living in addiction, which everybody hates that word, there's like compulsion, I forget what the other technical term is. Nobody likes addiction because nobody wants to be labeled an addict. But we need to recognize that definition works. It gives us something to work from, right? Step one, we admitted that we were powerless over our problems, that our lives had become unmanageable. When we try to control everything in our life, we think that we are, but still, the outcome isn't what we think it's going to be. We can't control other people. Oftentimes, we can't control ourselves. On the left-hand side, we have the 12 steps of recovery based on AA. On the right-hand side, we have the principles of recovery. And you'll see, I don't know if you can see it, the first letter of every beginning paragraph on there starts with the letter R. It all goes through recovery, R-E-C. Okay, so principle one, I realize that I'm not God. I admit that I'm powerless to control my tendency to do the wrong thing, and my life is unmanageable. Go to the next slide. Romans, oh man, it's still too small. Romans 7:18 says, I know that nothing good lives in me. I want to do what is right, but I can't. Anybody ever experienced that? I want to do what's right, but I can't. It's just, we mess up. We try to be in a relationship with each other and we make mistakes. We try to fix it, it doesn't work. So what do? We're having a bad day, we go do something. You know, it could even just like stare at the TV for the next 6 hours because I just want to zone out and feel nothing. One of my friends, he's been in recovery for over 100 days now. Just sit there. Probably close to almost 120. And he's like, anytime I got in a stressful situation, I just had to go take something to just numb the pain. And what it would do is it would cause a release of chemicals in his brain that would just calm him down, and he wouldn't feel anything. He wouldn't feel any emotions at all. Step two. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. You know what? It's crazy to think that any kind of substitutionary behavior to meet our needs is actually going to work long term. It's just not going to work. I'll read the other one first, and then I'll talk about that. Earnestly believe that God exists, that I matter to Him, and that He has the power to help me recover. You ever heard of the law of diminishing returns? So it's like, as you do something for a while, you get used to it, and the reward isn't the same. So then you got to do more. It's like, one cup of coffee isn't enough. Now you need 2. Now you need 6 throughout the day. Now you have to take caffeine pills. Now you got to take, oh man. I was in a basement the other day where this guy, his whole basement wall, as long as this, the entire thing was covered with empty energy drink cans. Seriously. He's in his mid-30s. He has heart problems now. That's what he figured this from. There was a diminishing return. He also worked out like crazy and probably did steroids and no one else. But at some point, it was disruptive.
How long did it take him to fill that wall, though?
I have no idea, Sean. I have no idea. And you know what? I'm sure that there was lost in that up in the garbage too. The wall was full. The verse for step 2. Philippians 2:13. God, oh man, I got a typo. God is working in you, giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases Him. In and of ourselves, we don't have actually the ability to do what's right. We just talked about that. We recognize that we want to do what's right, or we don't have the power to do what's good. Our life is unmanageable. We can't do it. We can't control it. But God is the one who's going to give us the power to do that. His Holy Spirit living in us. If you don't have the Holy Spirit living in you, you're not going to have success. Well, might for a while. But this is the end goal. Go to the next slide. Step 3. We made a decision to turn our wills and our lives over to the care of God. Principle 3. We consciously choose to commit all my life and my will to Christ's care. I believe that God is the creator of all things, of all living things, of everything in our universe, and He is the one that keeps everything going. And I believe that He created every single one of us to be in a relationship with Him. I also believe that He's created us to be in relationship with each other. Last week, Michelle talked about ligaments, tying the body together, joining them together. A healthy body has healthy ligaments. I have a bone ligament in my knee. It causes problems. This is really important for us as a body, as people in this community. We need to have health. We need to have recovery of our relationships, of our life, of our relationship with God. Otherwise, we're going to kind of be useless. We're going to be maybe even worse than useless. Maybe we're going to be a drag on things, just sucking the life out of stuff, like an infection. It's like, it is my desire in my life to be the man that God has created me to be. And I fail at that every day. But that's because I'm trying to do it myself. I'm trying to manage it myself. I'm trying to meet my own needs myself. This stuff matters. We talk about this as, I use the term addiction, but we can substitute sin in there. Basically, disobedience to God. It goes back to what Adam and Eve did. God gave them an instruction, and they didn't listen, and they did something else. They knew better. They believed something else, and figured that they were going to get their needs met, that God was holding back from them. It's not true. God loves us. He has what's best for us. I would like to give it over to this. Can you put up John 10, verse 2? The thief only comes to steal, kill, and destroy. You can put anything in there for a thief. This is originally talking about Satan, but it can be any of the things that we turn to that are other than God. And this is Jesus speaking. I came that they may have life, and may have it abundantly. If you don't know Jesus, if you have not come to the point where you admitted that you're not God, and that you're able to control everything, if you don't believe that God exists, or that you matter to Him, and He has power to help you recover what you've lost, it's restored from you, I would encourage you to think about it. Even those of you who have been believers for a while, we all have stuff that we need to deal with, that we turn to apart from God. Can you be relationships with other people? We need to consciously choose to commit our lives to Christ's care. I would like to invite, I'm done, except I want to play that video, and I'm going to invite anybody else to come and pray with us. If you guys have stuff that you need to deal with, if God, if the Holy Spirit has spoken to you, don't ignore it. If you have some thought in your mind, just you gotta take care of that. Or it's a matter of saying, God, I'm not God. I trust you, I believe you. And I think that I've done all the wrong things. And watch it. Wait for it to come up. After it's done.
When they ask how you doing, just smile and tell them never's better. Line number 2, everybody's life is perfect except yours. So keep your messes and your wounds and your secrets safe with you behind closed doors. Truth be told, truth is rarely told. I say I'm fine, yeah, I'm fine, oh fine, yeah, I'm fine, but I'm not. I'm broken, when it's out of control, say it's under control, but it's not. You know it, I don't know why it's so hard to admit it. Being honest.